So I saw the second episode of the second season of Peacemaker, and it's better than the first one. But, well, the naked people show up in this one too. See, it's the morning after. They're still naked and hungover and all that. But yeah, what are you gonna do? They're there and all that. So the rest of it is, well, Chris has got to deal with what happened last episode. No, not the naked people. Him and his other self. And Vigilante shows up to help him out with that. So more of the elements of the interdimensional room are, well, discussed anyway. Harcourt's still depressed. So is Chris, really, because he's in a bit of a jam here. The other members of the gang are not all that happy either. Waller's daughter is still, separated from her girlfriend and all that stuff. Economos is the only one left, but he's not getting along with Flag, because Flag's all pissed and mad about what happened to his son, and that's basically what's driving him. And you get more of that. You get a recap of what happened in Suicide Squad and all that stuff. So, just to be clear of what Rick Flag's about. So they have a get together and whatnot, but this only increases Chris's depression as he keeps trying to have a relationship with Harcourt, but she's not having it. So he gets all drunk again, but no naked party. He just ends up going to the other world because he's discovered that the other Chris had a successful relationship with Harcourt, and he's just like, well, this is all I want. So gives in to the temptation and heads over there. Meanwhile, while he was partying and stuff, a new character has been introduced and comes in, played by Tim Meadows, and he really picks up the show, and the full-on comedy unfolds there. Some of the comedic elements, again, were already spoiled by the ads, but Tim, they pair him up with Economos for the most part, but he's also assembles his own team, and he's very talented with nicknames. Yeah, and so it's really a plus. And so he does this. He assembles his team, and they go in to try to discover the secrets of the pan-dimensional room deal at Chris's house. And they're about to take care of it, or hone in on it. And then Eagle shows up, the other great character who ultimately saves the show. It had a better pace and sort of some things where it's like, whatever. But somewhat improvement over the previous episode. But yeah, Eagle swoops in literally, saves the show. So had a lot more fun with this one than the previous one. However, there is the potential for some preachy crap that might be at the heart of this concerning the alternate universe. It's almost probably impossible for it not to do some of it. It's just a matter of the degree. If I'm wrong, then great. And I'll explain that later, I guess, because I'm getting too close to spoilery stuff here. But nothing that wasn't already set up in the previous episode as to what Argus is after and all that. So there you go. A better episode than the previous one. And maybe there'll be a couple of more. I mean, it's odd because in the original, the first season, and I wasn't that taken with it at first. But it seems like it got its groove and everything and became really good. And then it's kind of the same thing, which would be odd since, you already had the first season, you know what you're doing. The only complications was, dealing with the fact that it's a new universe and all that because of the dumping the old franchise and starting a new one, but keeping that kind of thing. But, they dealt with it the way they did, so it's time to move on. So, okay. But that's the only complication. The rest of it, And when I was on Doomcock's Pop Culture Breakdown, I think it was Asaka Chandal. Yeah, she made mention, I think he's trying to be like the boys. And that's exactly right. I think yes, he saw somebody upping the ante on, in-your-face disgusting humor, I guess. But even at the time, because I didn't even finish the last season of the Boys, and now they already got another one on the way. And I was just like, okay, it's just after a while, even that gets old. So I wanted to just stick to your own formula, and now that it's so obvious, well, of course it was connected to the other one, but the other one started off kind of hardcore and dark and gritty. Even Superman was the world he lived in anyway. But here, it was just a bad choice to do it the way they did it in the first episode. But that's just, being disgusting. What I think they're going to do with the other world, that would be a really bad idea, but we'll see how it unfolds. It is somewhat concerning, but maybe not. Maybe it's just a small thing and it moves on or what have you. But now, if it's over the top stuff, like, I don't know, the Antichrist runs the world or something, aliens have already conquered it or whatever, I don't know. Then it's not really going to matter, but, well, we'll see. But, basically, yes, the second episode, is better, than the first one, primarily with the introduction of Tim Meadows' character, LaFleur or Fleury. I'm already forgetting the name, but don't worry, I'll get it. I tend to forget the names, but I know it's Tim Meadows. And then, of course, the magnificent performance of Eagly. That bird deserves more roles. Great actor. Great actor.